Right, problem on diesel cycle. Right, so let me read the question. So the following particulars refers to the German Mercedes 190D car operating 4-stroke inline diesel engine cycle. So it's working on diesel engine cycle. The compression ratio is equals to 21/1, and expansion ratio, this is compression ratio, then expansion ratio is equals to 10.5:1. Expansion ratio. Determine the cutoff ratio and air standard efficiency. So determine cutoff ratio is rho and air standard efficiency of diesel cycle. Right now, first complete the PVTS diagram quickly. PV and TS diagram. Okay, right now. So as we know, the heat addition is taking place at constant pressure, and heat rejection is taking place at constant volume. So in TS diagram, both are inclined only slope is different. Okay, now let's join. Okay, and this will be like this. Right, so 1, 2 compression, isentropic compression, 2 to 3 constant pressure heat addition, 3 to 4 expansion, 4 to 1 constant volume heat rejection. This is Q out, this is Q in. So during compression process, work is added. During expansion process, work is done by the system. Right? 1 to 2 isentropic compression, 2 to 3 constant pressure heat addition, 3 to 4 isentropic expansion, 4 to 1 constant volume heat rejection. Is it is okay? PVTS diagram.
Yes, sir.
Tell me fast. Right. So given compression ratio is defined as volume at the start of the compression to the volume at the end of the compression. This is equals to 21 is given, and expansion ratio is volume at the end of the expansion to the volume at the start of the expansion, that is V4 by V3 is equals to 10.5. Okay, right. So what is cutoff ratio? Cutoff ratio is defined as, right, cutoff ratio is defined as volume at the end of the heat addition to the volume at the start of the heat addition. Right, if you recall the derivation of the diesel engine we discussed, right? Cutoff ratio means it is the volume at the end of the heat addition to the volume at the start of the heat addition. Right now, so here how to find out this one, right? Yeah, I have, if you see here, V1 is equals to V4 because the heat rejection is taking place at constant volume right now. So therefore this expansion ratio I can also written as V1 by V3 because V1 is equals to V4. Now use this equation and this equation. Is it is possible to write in terms of V3 by V2? V3 by V2. Suppose if I write compression ratio by expansion ratio, compression ratio V1 by V2 divided by expansion ratio, that is equals to V3 divided by V1 is equals to 21 divided by 10.5. Is it is okay? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Right, if I V1 can be cancelled, therefore I will get V3 by V2. V3 by V2 is nothing but it is the cutoff ratio. How much this value? I think 2. 10.5 into 2 will give us the cutoff ratio. Right? And the second bit is asking air standard efficiency of diesel cycle. Air standard efficiency of diesel cycle is equals to 1 minus 1 by R power gamma minus 1 into rho power gamma minus 1 by gamma into rho minus 1, as we know. Right? So gamma value, gamma is equals to 1.4. So this is the for air, or for our air, the adiabatic index value is 1.4, and rho value you got 2. Okay, and the compression ratio is given as 21. Substitute these three values so that you will get the efficiency of the diesel cycle. Clear this one? Please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Can I go to next problem?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now if you see here, what is this volume corresponding to this one? This is V2, right? And till here, this is V1. And this is what? Vs. Means I can say V2 is equals to Vc, clearance volume. Yes or no? If you subtract V2 from V1, you will get the swept volume. That is equals to V1 minus Vc. Total volume minus clearance volume is equals to swept volume. This one I already discussed, right? Now,
Yes.
come to the next problem. The following data belongs to the compression ignition engine working on air standard diesel engine. Okay, so the data is cylinder bore. Cylinder bore is nothing but diameter. Bore is nothing but dia. Cylinder bore is given, that is equals to 15 centimeter. And stroke length. Stroke length is equals to, that is the length distance between top dead center and bottom dead center. So that value is equals to 25 centimeter. And the clearance volume is given. Clearance volume is generated by Vc, nothing but V2. So that is equals to 400 centimeter cube. Calculate the air standard efficiency of the engine if the fuel injection takes place at constant pressure for 5% of the stroke. For 5% of the stroke. How this efficiency will be affected if the fuel supply continues up to 8% of the stroke. Means what you need to do? You need to calculate the efficiency for 5% of stroke. This is a fuel addition. Fuel added. Fuel added for 5% of the stroke. What is the efficiency? If it continues till 8% of the stroke, what is the efficiency? These two we need to do right now. So what is the meaning of this one? Fuel supply continues. Actually, at what point fuel supply will start? Tell me. Anyone? At
V3,
what
sir.
point the fuel supply starts? It starts at 2. Agree? The fuel supply
Yes.
starts at 2, end at 3. Yes or no? Right? So he is saying that the V3 point he is talking about. V3 is equals to. He's talking about V3. It is starting at 2 and it is ending at 5% of stroke. Stroke means you need to take Vs. This is clear? I'm reading again. If the fuel injection takes place at constant pressure for 5% of the stroke, means V3 value is equals to starting plus 5% of the stroke. Similarly, in second case, V3 is equals to V2 plus 8% of the stroke. Okay. Now, so how to calculate swept volume or stroke volume? So this is the cylinder. The area of the cylinder is area multiplied by the length. Pi by 40 square into L. So this is equals to pi by 4. Right. Again, all the units should be in SI unit. Okay. All the units should be in SI unit. So therefore, the diameter, if I convert, this is 0.15 meter, and this is 0.25 meter, and this is equals to 400 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube. Okay, and pi by 4 d square 0.15 whole square multiplied by the 0.25. So you will get a swept volume or stroke volume is equals to 4416 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube. This is the swept volume. Okay. Now, so after getting swept volume, now what is the row? Calculate cutoff efficiency of diesel cycle is equals to 1 minus 1 by R power gamma minus 1 into rho power gamma minus 1 by gamma into rho minus 1. This is the formula for calculating the efficiency of the diesel engine, right? Now, so here I want a compression ratio as well as cutoff ratio. Gamma value is constant, that value is equals to 1.4. Now, can anyone tell me how to define compression ratio? How to define compression ratio?
Vs plus Vc by Vs, sir.
Very good. That is right. Means I can say volume at the start of the compression by volume at the end of the compression. So volume at the start of the compression is equals to V1. Volume at the end of the compression is clearance volume, right? So V1 divided by Vc. So V1 I can written as swept volume plus clearance volume divided by Vc. Right? So that is equals to 1 plus Vs by Vc. So that is equals to 1 plus Vs swept volume. Just now we calculated 4416 into 10 power minus 6 divided by clearance volume is given 400 into 10 power minus 6, right? So if you simplify, you will get around 10.04. So this is the
Yes, sir,
compression ratio. So yeah, once you know compression ratio, then cutoff ratio is equals to volume at the end of the heat fuel supplied by volume at the start of the heat addition. So V3 value, this one. First case you need to consider 5% of the stroke. First case we need to consider 5% of the stroke. So therefore, for 5% of the stroke, V3 is equals to V2 value. Do you have nothing but Vc? That is equals to 400 into 10 power minus 6 plus 5 by 100 into 4416 into 10 power minus 6. So this V3 value is equals to 620.8 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube, right? So therefore rho is equals to 620.8 into 10 power minus 6 by V2 is nothing but Vc, that is 400 into 10 power minus 6. So this value is equals to 1.552. We have cutoff ratio and we have compression ratio, right now. So therefore, if you substitute R and rho value, you will get efficiency of diesel engine. So efficiency of diesel engine is equals to, right? So 1 minus 1 by R value, we got it as 10.04. 10.04, 1 minus 1 by R power gamma minus 1. 0.4 minus 1 is 1.4. Sorry, 1.4 minus 1 is 0.4 into rho power gamma minus 1. Right now? Rho means 1.552 power gamma minus 1 by gamma into 1.552 minus 1. So if you simplify, you will get this efficiency as 59.35%. This percentage is for 5% of the stroke. Now what is asking second case? If the cutoff is 5% of the stroke. So for 8% of the stroke, for 8% of stroke, V3 is equals to V2 plus 8 by 100 into Vs. So V2 we have how much V2? 400 into 10 power minus 6 plus 8 by 100 into Vs value is 4416 into 10 power minus 6. So therefore, if you calculate, you will get V3 is 753.28 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube. Once you know V3, recalculate the cutoff ratio by using this one. That is V3 by V2. So 753.28 into 10 power minus 6 divided by V2, we have clearance volume, that is 400 into 10 power minus 6. This value you will get it as 1.883. Now take this rho value, compression ratio remains the same. This is 10.04. So calculate the efficiency of the diesel cycle with this cutoff ratio. So you will get it 57.4%. So what happens to efficiency by increasing the fuel addition? By increasing the fuel addition, the efficiency is decreased, right now. So the percentage of decrease in efficiency is equals to percentage of decrease in efficiency is equals to 59.35 minus 57.4.
Your voice is breaking.
Approximately the percentage is 2%. So by increasing the stroke, for increasing the heat addition, so it is decreasing the efficiency. Is it is okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Next we will go to one more problem. Right. So next problem, the heat engine draws in air at 1 bar. So P1 is equals to inlet pressure P1 equal to 1 bar and temperature T1 is equals to 300 Kelvin. Measurements indicate maximum pressure and temperature values equivalent to. Maximum pressure is given. Maximum temperature. Tell me at what point pressure is maximum, at what point temperature is maximum. Please tell me. Maximum pressure is given as 70
Pressure is
bar.
maximum at 3, sir.
Yeah, maximum pressure you can see P2 or P3. Agree? It may be P2
Yes.
or it may be P3 because 2 to 3 the pressure is constant, and where the temperature is maximum at 3 T3, right? Yeah, T3, P2, P3 are given, right? So determine the air standard efficiency if the engine works on diesel cycle. Determine the efficiency if the engine works on diesel. This is the first bit. First complete this one. We have one more bit also, right? Now, in order to calculate the efficiency, what you require, tell me? You require R value and rho value in case of diesel cycle, right now. So in case of petrol cycle or auto cycle, we require only R value, but in case of diesel cycle, the cutoff ratio is required, right now. Right. So compression ratio. So compression ratio is equals to V1 by V2, right? So, but we have P1, P2 value, right? So 1 to 2 process, if you take, it is isentropic compression process. P1, V1 power gamma is equals to P2, V2 power gamma, right now. So from this, I want V1 by V2. So V1 by V2 is equals to P2 by P1 whole power 1 by gamma. Agree? So therefore, V1 by V2 is equals to, yeah, P2 value is 70 by 1 whole power 1 by 1.4. So if you simplify, you will get around 20.5. So this is the compression ratio. Compression ratio is over, right? Next, I want cutoff ratio, right? For cutoff ratio, I want 3 to, right? How to define cutoff ratio? Cutoff ratio is volume at the end of the heat addition by volume at the start of the heat addition, right? So V3 value, V2 value. I don't know anything, right? So I know only V1 by V2, right? But 2 to 3 process, if you see, this is the constant pressure process. V2 by T2 is equals to V3 by T3. So from this I can write V3 by V2 is equivalent to T3 by T2. So among these, I know maximum temperature T3 is known, T2 I want to calculate, right? So as we know, we already derived this equation, T2 by T1 is equals to V1 by V2 whole power gamma minus 1. Okay, so by using two equations, one is the adiabatic equation, second one is the equation of state. We eliminated pressure in terms of volume, right? So therefore, T2 is equals to T1 300 into V1 by V2. We have 20.77 whole power 1.4 minus 1. This is equals to 0.4. Therefore, T2 value you will get it as 1009.5 Kelvin. Once you know T2, you already have T3. Therefore, cutoff ratio we can write as V3 by V2. Therefore, rho is equals to V3 by V2. It is also written as T3 by T2. So that is equals to T3 value is given 2000 Kelvin and T2 just now we calculated 1009.5. So therefore, this value will get it as 1.98. So once you know rho value, R value, therefore efficiency of diesel cycle is equals to 1 minus 1 by R. R means 20.77 power gamma minus 1 into rho power gamma minus 1 by gamma into rho minus 1, 1.98 minus 1. So therefore, this value will get it as 65.3%. This is direct problem. Now, second bit, what he has given, how the air standard efficiency of this cycle compares with that of a Carnot cycle working with the same maximum and minimum temperature limits. So you want to calculate the efficiency by using Carnot cycle. Let us say the same with the same parameters. If the Carnot engine is working with the maximum temperature and minimum temperature, can you tell me where the temperature is minimum? Temperature is minimum at 1. Temperature is maximum at 3. Right now. So therefore, which is a maximum temperature? Maximum temperature nothing but source temperature is equals to T3 and sink temperature is equals to T1. So T1 is equals to how much? 300 Kelvin and maximum temperature T3 is equals to 2000 Kelvin. So if the engine is operating between these two temperatures, what is the Carnot efficiency? Right now, so Carnot efficiency is equals to T higher minus T lower divided by T lower. So T higher minus T lower by T higher, right? Work done by heat supplied. Work done is equal to heat supplied minus heat rejected. So T higher is equals to 2000 minus 300 divided by 2000 into 100. So this efficiency is equals to 85%. Right? Is this statement is true? Always, as we know, all the engines efficiency should be less than that of Carnot efficiency. That engine is physically feasible. Otherwise, so the violates the Carnot cycle. So this is exist. Any engine efficiency should be less than the Carnot engine efficiency. Clear now?
Yes, sir.
Right. We'll take one more problem. Right. An engine working on diesel cycle has a compression ratio. So compression ratio V1 by V2 is equals to 15, and the fuel supply is cut off at 8% of the stroke. Fuel supply is cut off is equals to 8% of the stroke. V2 plus 8% of Vs. Agree? And if the engine has a relative efficiency of 50%, relative efficiency is equals to 50%. Determine the fuel consumption per kilowatt hour. So calculate fuel consumption. Fuel consumption per kilowatt hour. Assume that the calorific value of the fuel is equals to 42,000 kilojoules per kg. Okay, right. So here cutoff ratio is given in terms of stroke volume, right? So but he did not given anything about the cylinder bore or stroke length. Okay, then how to calculate the stroke volume or swept volume, right? So as we know, Vs is equals to total volume minus clearance volume. We know that it is the total volume equals to swept volume equal to total volume minus clearance volume, we know. Okay, and cutoff ratio we know that it is V3 by V2. V3 by V2 we know. Right. So we know V3 is equals to V2 plus 8 by 100 means 0.08 into Vs I can replace with V1 by V1 minus V2. So if you divide this equation by V2, if you divide the whole equation by V2, right? So therefore I will get what is V3 by V2? V3 by V2 is rho is equals to If I expand V2 by V2, V2 by V2 is 1 plus 0.08 into V1 by V2 minus 1. Is this step is clear? Please, anyone please reply. I have
Yes, sir.
V3, I divided with V2 on both the sides so that I got cutoff ratio. Okay, so V1 by V2 is nothing but it is the compression ratio. You can see V1 by V2 is the compression ratio. Therefore, if you substitute R value, you will get the cutoff ratio. Rho, you will get it as 2.12. So 2.12. Okay. Once you know cutoff ratio, compression ratio is given, you can calculate efficiency of diesel cycle without any difficulty. Clear this one till efficiency?
Yes.
Compression ratio is given in the problem itself, and we calculated cutoff ratio by using this equation. So with this we can calculate air standard efficiency, the diesel cycle. That one we are getting it as 6.2%. Okay, right. So here relative efficiency is defined as actual air standard efficiency by actual efficiency to the air standard efficiency. Actual thermal efficiency to the air standard efficiency. So whatever the efficiency we are getting is the air standard efficiency. What is meant by air standard efficiency? We are assuming air as the working fluid. We are assuming air as the working fluid, then the efficiency obtained is called air standard efficiency. We calculated air standard efficiency, and relative efficiency is defined as actual thermal efficiency by air standard efficiency. From this, I can calculate actual thermal efficiency, that is equals to relative efficiency 0.5 multiplied by 2 by 100 means 0.602. So you will get it as 0.301 means it is equals to 30%. Actual thermal efficiency is equals to 30%, right? So but what is actual thermal efficiency? Actual thermal efficiency can also be defined as, the thermal efficiency is also defined as output by input. So what is the output I am getting? Power output by what is the input I am giving? Chemical energy. That is mass of fuel multiplied by the calorific value. This is nothing but the heat energy. The heat energy we are giving to the engine. This is nothing but heat energy. How to get heat energy? How much amount of fuel we are burning, and what is the calorific value of that? Right? What is the power output? Right? So he is asking for 1 kilowatt hour. Therefore, power output is equals to 1 kilowatt. So if you substitute here 1 kilowatt hour for fuel consumption per kilowatt hour, he is asking 1 hour is equals to 3600 seconds divided by mass of fuel into calorific value is given 42,000 kilojoules per kg. 42,000 kilojoules per kg, right now. So if you substitute, so you will get mass of fuel. This value, you know, this is 0.301. So from this you will get mass of fuel is equals to 3600 divided by 0.301 into 42,000. Okay, so you will get a kg per, sorry, this is 1 kilowatt hour. So kg per kilowatt hour are the units we are getting. This is the mass of fuel required in order to generate 1 kilowatt power. Okay, so always we can calculate heat input is equals to, heat input is nothing but mass of fuel multiplied by its calorific value. Okay, like this you need to practice the problems on Otto cycle and diesel cycle, and let me complete problems on dual cycle also, right? So 99% you will get problem. Sometimes you will ask derivation also, right? Don't say that, sir, you said that derivation won't come. If you refer previous papers, sometimes he is asking derivation as well as problem. Sometimes he is giving direct problem for 10 marks. Okay, right. No. Next problems on dual cycle. As we know, in dual cycle, heat addition takes place partly at constant volume and partly at constant pressure, and rejection takes place at constant volume, right? So if you draw PVTS diagram for dual cycle, so partly heat addition at constant volume, partly heat rejection, so heat addition at constant pressure, and heat rejection takes place at constant volume. This is the curve line. This is also curve. Right. 1 to 2 compression, isentropic compression. 2 to 3 constant volume heat addition. 3 to 4 constant pressure heat addition. 4 to 5 isentropic expansion. 5 to 1 constant volume heat rejection. If you draw on TS diagram, constant volume, constant pressure, again constant volume heat rejection. Okay, so isentropic compression, isentropic expansion. So this is 1 to 2 compression, 2 to 3 constant volume heat addition, 3 to 4 constant pressure, 4 to 5 isentropic expansion, 5 to 1 constant volume heat rejection. Right now, so this is Q in. This is also Q in. This is Q out. Okay, now we will see problems. Clear PVTS diagram? Any doubt, please ask me. This is work in compression. This is the W out expansion. Any doubt in PVTS diagram? Please tell me.
No, sir.
No, right. Right. The question is a compression ignition engine. Compression ignition engine is nothing but diesel engine working on dual cycle has a cylinder diameter. So D is equals to 20 centimeter and stroke is equals to 30 centimeter. At the start of the compression process, the cylinder is full of air at 1 bar. P1 inlet pressure is given 1 bar and temperature T1 is equals to 300 Kelvin at the start of the compression. Okay, the engine operates with compression ratio of 8. Compression ratio R is equals to 8 and heat addition at constant pressure continues. Heat addition at constant pressure continues 4% of the stroke, means V4 is equals to V3 plus 4 by 100 of Vs. This should be very clear now by this time because this is third problem. The heat addition continues up to 4% of stroke. So heat addition starts at 3, end at 4. V4 is equals to V3 plus 4% of the stroke. Okay, and if the maximum cycle pressure is limited to 60 bar, where is the maximum pressure? Maximum pressure is taking place at 3. P3 is equals to P4, that is equals to 60 bar. Okay, so make calculations for the thermal efficiency and work done for this cycle. Okay, right. So now if you recall the formula for thermal efficiency of dual cycle, thermal efficiency of the dual cycle, can anyone tell me? Is asking thermal efficiency. Is not asking air standard efficiency. Thermal efficiency is equals to work done by heat supplied. Getting or not? Work
Yes,
done
sir.
by heat supplied. Where if it is air standard efficiency, we need to use that formula. Yes or no? 1 minus 1 by R power gamma minus that formula you need to use for air standard efficiency. But for thermal efficiency, you need to use normal formula, work done by heat supplied. How to calculate work done? Work done equal to heat supplied minus heat rejected. Okay, now, right? Means you need to calculate heat supplied and heat rejected, right? So means you should know the temperature at 0.2, 0.3 and 0.4. But here you know temperature at 1. Temperature at 1 inlet temperature is given and T2 temperature we don't know, right? So first we should calculate T2 temperature. Before that, bore and strokes are given. Right now, first calculate Vs. Swept volume or stroke volume, pi by 4 d square into L. Right now, that is equals to pi by 4. I'm converting to SI unit 0.2 whole square into 0.3. So if you calculate, you will get around 9,420 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube. This is the swept volume. And we know compression ratio is equals to volume at the start of the compression by volume at the end of the compression. This is also called it as V1. V1 is nothing but clearance volume plus swept volume by V2 is equals to clearance volume. That is equals to 1 plus Vs by Vc. Right now? So now if you see here, swept volume is known, compression ratio is given. So therefore we can calculate V2. V2 is nothing but clearance volume we can calculate. So how to calculate? R minus 1 is equals to Vs by Vc. So from this Vc is equals to Vs by R minus 1. Vs is known to you and compression ratio is also known. So therefore Vc we can calculate. So this value you will get it as 1346 into 10 power minus 6. So Vc is equals to 1346 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube. Nothing but this is also equivalent to V2 volume at 2. Okay. So therefore once you know V2 and Vs, we can calculate total volume. V1 is equals to Vc plus Vs. So Vs is there, Vc is there. Therefore total volume is equals to 10. If we add two values, 10766 meter cube. Sorry, into 10 power minus 6. It is centimeter cube. So it is meter cube. You know total volume, right? So once you know why I am doing all those things means I want to know the temperatures at point 2. So in order to calculate temperature at 2, I should know volume at 1 and volume at 2. Right? So if I know volume at 1, compression ratio is known. R is equals to 8. That is equals to V1 by V2. So from this V2 is equals to V1 by 8. So 10766 divided by 8, right? How much it will be? How much it will be? 10766 into 10 power minus 6 by 8. Type it and tell me V2 value. 8 1 ja 8, 8 3 ja 24, 8 4 ja 32, 8 4 ja 32.5 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube. Okay, so we got, is it is okay? 10766 by 8.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Let me check. Correct, right now. So you got a V2 value, V1 value. Okay, so therefore I know the relation between temperature and volume. In previous problems also we used T2 by T1 is equals to T2 by T1 is equals to V1 by V2 whole power gamma minus 1. Right, so T2 value is equals to T1 is given as 300 Kelvin into V1 by V2 is nothing but compression ratio, that is 8 power 0.4. Okay, so you will get around 689.2 Kelvin. Check it. You will get around 689.2 Kelvin. You got T2 also, right? So then once you know T2, I want T3 value, right? So for that you need to consider 223. 223 is constant volume process. If you see, so for constant volume process, I can write as P2 by T2 is equals to P3 by T3. T2 value I know, and P3, P2 I don't know, right? So, but P3 is known to me. P3 is known. How to get P2? How to get P2? P2 we can get because 1 to 2 process, if you see 1 to 2 it is isentropic compression. P1 V1 power 1.4 is equals to P2 V2 power 1.4. You have V2 value with you. You have V1 value and P1 value is also known to you. You have P1 V1 and V2 also. From this P2 is equals to V1 by V2 whole power 1.4 into P1. All the data is with you. If you substitute, you will get P2 as 18.38 bar. Okay, so therefore P2 is known, P3 is known, T2 is known. Therefore P3 value I can write as P3 by P2 into T2. So P3 is given, P2 we have, T2 value we calculated. So therefore T3 you will get it as 2250 Kelvin. T3 value we know. Next what I want, T3 I know, T4 also I required, because if I want to calculate heat supplied at constant pressure Cp into T4 minus T3. So I want to calculate T4 also. For that you should consider the process 3 to 4. 3 to 4 right now? Right. If you consider process 3 to 4, it is taking place at constant pressure. For constant pressure, I can write as V3 by T3 is equals to V4 by T4. Right? V3. Do you know V3 value? V3 we don't know. But if you see 2 to 3 constant volume, V3 is equals to V2. V3 is equals to V2 because 2 to 3 it is constant volume, means this value is known, V3. T3 also known. But in order to calculate T4, what I required? I required V4. V4 is unknown, right? So for V4, what he has given? V4 is equals to 4% of the stroke. I know V3 value, I know Vs value, right? So just substitute, you will get V4. V4 is equals to V3 plus 4% of stroke. 4 by 100 into Vs. 4 by 100 into Vs. We have Vs value, we have V3 value. If you substitute, you will get V4 as 1722.8 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube. So I got V4 value also. Then what is unknown here? T4. T4 is equals to V4 by V3 into T3. So if we all the data is with you, just substitute. You will get T4 as 2880 Kelvin. Right now, so we got T4 value also. Is 5 is also required? Is 5 is required? Tell me, is
Heat
temperature 5
rejection.
is required or not? Heat rejection, very good. So how to get the heat rejection? It is taking place at constant volume. Therefore, CV into T5 minus T1. Therefore, I want to calculate temperature 5 also, right? For that, we need to consider process 4 to 5. So because I know P4 as, sorry, T4 value and V4 value. Therefore, instead of considering 5 to 1, I am considering 4 to 5. 4 to 5 is isentropic process. P4 V4 power gamma is equals to P5 V5 power gamma. And one more equation, I can take P4 V4 by T4. It is the equation of state P5 V5 by T5. So if you eliminate pressure from these two, you will get temperature and volume relation. T5 by T4 is equals to V4 by V5 whole power gamma minus 1. If you solve these two by eliminating pressure, you will get this one, right? What is V4 by V5? What is V4? V4 we don't know, but V5 is equals to V1. Yes or no? 1 to 5 it is constant volume process. Therefore, V4 by V1 whole power 1.4 minus 1. This is 0.4, right? So we have V4 value. V4 value we have, just now we calculated, this is the V4. V1 is given in the problem. Okay, therefore you will get T5 is equals to, so T4 into V4 is 1722.8 into 10 power minus 6 divided by V1 how much? V1 is equals to 10766. 10766 into 10 power minus 6. So T4 is known 2880. If you substitute, you will get T5 as 1384 Kelvin. 1384 Kelvin, right? So now we can write. So what is the heat supplied? Qs is equals to, it is taking place partially constant volume and partially constant pressure. So constant volume is from 2 to 3, right now. So 2 to 3 means at 3 we have high enthalpy or high temperature. So therefore T3 minus T2, and at 4 I have high value T4 minus T3. Right? Cp value is how much? Cp value 1.005 kilojoules per kg Kelvin, and Cv is 0.71. You should remember these values. If he gives it's okay, otherwise you should remember this value 0.718 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. And all the temperatures are with you. And only thing is you should convert this kilojoules to joule by multiplying 1000. Okay, because joule is the SI unit. If you do everything, you will get 1754 into 10 power 3 joules per kg. This is the heat supplied. then heat rejected is equals to, it is taking place at constant volume, it is 5 to 1. At 5 we are having high enthalpy, therefore I am taking T5 minus T1. So you will get around 778 into 10 power 3 joules per kg, right now. So once you know heat supplied minus heat rejected, so we can calculate work done is equals to heat supplied minus heat rejected. So heat supplied is equals to 1754 into 10 power minus 3 minus heat rejected 778 into 10 power 3. Sorry, this is plus 3. Okay. So if you say subtract, you will get around 976 into 10 power 3 joules per kg. Therefore, thermal efficiency is equals to work done by heat supplied. So work done is equals to 976 into 10 power 3 divided by 1754 into 10 power 3 into 100 efficiency. So you will get around 55.6%. Right, no? Right. So this is the thermal efficiency. Then he is asking mean effective pressure. What is the formula to calculate mean effective pressure? Mean effective pressure is equals to work done by swept volume. So work done we have 976 into 10 power 3 joules per kg into VS swept volume is equals to, how much we got? VS is equals to 9420 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube. Okay. So therefore the value will be 10 power minus 6, it will go to up, it will be 10 power plus 6. So we are getting tell me 976 by 94, yeah, 10 power 9, this by this, how much? 0.1 0.12, check it, into 10 power 9 will balance the units, joules per kg into 1 by meter cube. So we know that 1 joule is equals to 1 Newton meter. 1 Newton meter by kg into 1 by meter.
Newton per kg meter square.
Yeah, then any further conversion? Right. Newton meter mean effective pressure. Meter square will be, but kg is left. So work done units are
Joules.
Joules.
joules only, right? Yeah, joules.
Yes, sir, only
We
joules.
are assuming yeah, no, it's work done per mass. This is work done per unit mass. Okay. By assuming mass is equals to 1 kg, then you will get Newton per meter square, 0.12 into 10 power 9 Newton per meter square, right? So 1 bar is equals to how much? 1 into 10 power 5 Pascal, nothing but 10 power 5 Newton
10
per
5
meter
Newton
square.
per meter square.
Means I can say 0.1 into 10 power 4 bar. Can I write? Because this can be written as 10 power 4 into 10 power 5. This 10 power 5 Newton per meter square is bar, therefore 1200 bar. This is the mean effective pressure. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
What you should remember, whether he is asking air standard efficiency or thermal efficiency. Okay, na? If he is asking air standard efficiency, we should use the formula we derived, right now. So air standard efficiency of DL cycle is equals to 1 minus 1 by R power gamma minus 1 into alpha rho power gamma minus 1 by alpha minus 1 plus gamma alpha into rho minus 1, right? Here new term is alpha. What is alpha? Alpha is the explosion ratio. Yes or no? Alpha is equals to explosion ratio, that is pressure at the end of the heat addition by pressure at the start of the heat addition. P3 by P2 is alpha, and cutoff ratio here is V4 by V3. Yes or no? That is for air standard efficiency. But here for thermal efficiency, if you know the heat supplied and heat rejected, we can calculate heat supplied minus heat rejected by heat supplied gives the thermal efficiency, right? Okay, na? Right. So what you need to do? You should practice similar problems from any textbook.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This will stop today. So next class we will discuss about refrigeration cycles.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.